What is up, podcast listeners? Welcome back to the Esports Rewind podcast. My name is Jake.
I am Zan. Hello.
I wanted to keep it cool and calm because, it's if you guys don't know, we got new microphones here at the set. So for all you audio listeners out there, welcome back.
We actually got podcast mics now.
Yeah, I kind of feel like I'm almost like leaning into it like, what's up, guys? How are you doing?
Trying to do some ASMR.
Hello. Not even that. I feel like I sound better, so I kind of want to put it closer to my mouth. But maybe I don't want to mess it up either. So how you doing there, Zan? What's up this week, man?
You know what? I was in a really bad mood before we before we started because I was looking at one of my topics and getting mad about it all over again.
You seem like the kind of guy that would look over a topic and just kind of sit there and rage before you can spit it out.
No, yeah, honestly, I'm exactly that person.
I'm excited for you to rage during that. But for all of our new listeners, potentially all old listeners, what is up, people? Thank you all for returning to the podcast. We talk about the latest news that we've covered both sometimes on the website, either on YouTube videos as well. Just the crazier CSGO, not CSGO in general, but crazier esports news out there. You could tell my CSGO intro almost came out.
No, yeah. I could see you're falling into it like a little bit.
I was about to just go,
welcome
what's up,
back, guys, to another day of exciting CSGO news.
I'm actually so mad that I slipped up there. Yeah. Let's get into it, why don't we?
All right,
let's get it kicking. Okay, Zan, I'm going to get it cracking right away.
Let's do it.
First story, and it's all around FaZe Clan.
Okay.
And, I was going to start it off by asking you, if there is a bad boy esports organization, what would it be? But I think I've asked you that in the past.
I don't know about bad boys specifically. I don't know how...
Really? Because I was going to call this segment, FaZe are the bad boys of esports.
See, but I don't think they are.
Because
when I think, I don't think we have a bad boys of esports. Because if I think of bad boys, right?
Give me a few minutes.
Because obviously, I think of like boy band type stuff,
But there has to be I've heard rumors out. We've heard talks about like G2 and I think FaZe Clan are the kind of like they kind of just have that perspective to me. Maybe not to you, but if I were to ask you if there could be a bad boy of esports, who would you say?
If we had to pick one right now, I don't think we have one yet. I think they're coming. But if I had to pick one, it probably would be FaZe.
There we go. That's all I wanted you to lean towards.
I can't just give you what you want.
I'm just saying. Anyway, I kind of had a list out there of things they have done recently in the controversy as well to kind of attest to my theory that FaZe are the bad boys of esports. It's not like a bad thing either. So for all you,
I don't think bad boys is a bad term.
Yeah,
which is kind of why I also don't think they're bad boys.
I mean, anyway. So I kind of this week alone we had several topics come up. The first of which was is FaZe profitable or not? That controversy came up because Banks had said some things, and the Apex also had said some counterpoints to that. And so they're always, in terms of, to me, why I think they're maybe the bad boys is they're always in some sort of controversy. They're always in the news for some sort of thing that kind of walks the line of whether or not you should have said those kind of things. And so I had the list that expands beyond that, right? We also have the same drama around who even made the FaZe Clan logo. We talked about that this week. They had an original designer.
Which is kind of funny, not going to lie.
It's a conflict. See? And again, they might be in the right here. Like they might be.
Very possible.
They might very well have had one of their members make the logo. It might have been Tommy or Temper, one of the original founding members, or it could have been a graphic designer that was let go for the clan and not really shown much for his work. See, they walked the line of they could be in the right, they could be in the wrong, and so that's why, to me, they're a bit of a bad boy. I'm going to keep on going with this one, though.
I'm curious. Let's break down the rest of the list.
Okay.
Let's hear it.
Okay, so we already have, are they profitable or not? They've said some things that are maybe a bit out of turn to uppers. If I was an investor, I'd be like, why are you talking about the financials of our organization? Then they had the who made the logo drama. That's all this week that's come out. We have the Tfue lawsuit. Which, by the way, again, people are taking sides on whether or not, his original contract. They obviously offered him better contracts, so they're riding between.
Yeah, they're walking the line
of what was actually morally correct. Then we have another lawsuit. Remember the office break-in lawsuit that also came out during that time?
Oh, yes.
Where potentially, I think it was one of the first investors into them. They apparently might have broken into one of their offices and stolen a bunch of equipment. Nothing has come of that lawsuit. So you're left thinking, okay, maybe they didn't, maybe they did. I don't really know. Bad boys. And then on top of all of that, we have the underage recruiting of High Sky. So it's like, and there's a freaking debate out there. Are they doing him a favor? It's obviously, is it morally correct? I don't know. They obviously lied to Twitch. They lied to Fortnite with him competing underage. See what I'm saying?
See,
yeah.
no, but see, at the same time, I'm on board with your general line of thought, but I wouldn't call them bad boys because if I think bad boys, I think of one of two options. I think slightly edgy K-pop group, or I think somebody actually doing like bad things, and we don't know that FaZe is actually doing bad things.
I can't believe you just compared bad boys to K-pop.
Yeah.
Have you seen K-pop boys? Those things couldn't hurt a fly.
Exactly. That's what bad boys are.
What? No. Okay, we got two opposite ends of the spectrum of bad boys.
Yeah,
out.
exactly.
I feel like the comments are going to agree with me.
FaZe is in between. FaZe is they're definitely not K-pop group with like emo.
This is an
and
esports podcast, Sam. We're talking about esports in terms of esports and gaming. FaZe are bad boys.
I don't know. I'm not convinced.
You guys can decide then, because I just listed off so many things, man.
See, no, but I'm
drama.
Yeah.
We're not sure if they're in the right or the wrong. Okay, we got profitable or not. We got who made the goddamn logo, Tfue lawsuit, office break-in lawsuit, underage recruiting, and more. Drinking as well was involved in the Tfue lawsuit. I could bring up so many topics.
See, I feel like
what about that is
the
good?
The only thing that definitively leans into the bad boy category for me is the high sky thing, which because that's definitively, yeah, y'all are wrong. Y'all need to not have done that, right? All the other stuff is very gray area-esque, and they're not quite over the line.
But what other organization is anywhere close to their I'm not, and again, I feel like I probably should have let off with this.
Yeah.
I'm not mad about it.
Yeah, I know you aren't.
I think it's great to be in the headlines. They're doing a great job brand wise. Obviously, this stuff has not affected their investors, the money they brought in, the viewers, the everything about them. They are doing just fine, obviously, and so I don't mind this. I'm trying to present it as esports maybe needs a bad guy, and FaZe is filling that hole.
I'd say they're probably a good heel, yeah.
I just don't understand. I don't understand how you think.
They're the most controversial org for sure.
When you think about other organizations, like the most controversial part about what another org, like the most controversial part about Liquid is that Double Lift is their bad boy, and he's not like. He's like the stereotypical, and again, no offense to the guy, but you got hype videos for Liquid's bad boy, like throwing like a T-shirt into a dumpster.
No, yeah, he was like hair flip. See, but that's the thing. That's a bad boy.
Oh my god!
That's what I'm saying.
Are you kidding me? Oh, dude, you think Double Lift is a bad boy?
Because a bad boy doesn't actually mean literally bad. A bad boy, in my mind, is like. Yeah, they're not actually. That's why I was like, hey, bad boys are like K-pop groups.
Oh my, so we just have two different opinions.
I think we're just on the different sides
about
of this.
What the heck.
I think we both agree they're the most controversial. But in my mind, bad boy means a very specific thing.
In your mind, bad boy means fake bad boy that's actually kind of good. In my mind, bad boy means something that's actually controversial.
Shout out to Des Moines.
All right, so you know what? At least we can maybe agree on this. FaZe Clan, they might not be the bad boys of esports, but they are the controversial org of esports.
Absolutely.
Thank you for finally agreeing with me.
I've always been on board with you with that.
You guys can decide in the comment section down below what you think about this.
Yeah, what do you think a bad boy is? Please tell us. Send us pictures of your favorite bad boy. Hit us up on Twitter.
Don't go too far with this.
All right, Jakey boy.
Jakey boy.
Jakey boy. This is the thing I'm mad about this week,
and
I'm probably going to be mad about for the next probably 6 to 8 months.
Everyone listening, roughly. Just you want to sit back and prepare yourselves for this one.
You know, grab a drink, be prepared.
I got my drink. I'm ready to go, man. Hit me with it.
All
Get angry.
Modern Warfare.
All right.
A game that I canceled my pre-order on, and I'm still keeping it canceled. Because... Okay, for those of you who don't know, I'm gonna break it down exactly everything that's going on.
Oh man,
just to give broad.
Speaking of controversial esports people, it's just you, man. You love to ride that line of pissing people off and making some the few people out there very happy about what you're saying. But okay, all right.
Yeah, I feel like I just.
Don't worry, Call of Duty fans. I'm here to defend you on whatever he's bringing up.
Call of Duty fans, I love Modern Warfare. From what little bit I played, I really love the game, and that's why I'm so mad about it. Anyway, so 2 weeks ago, or last week actually, 2 weeks before launch, launch being next week, or frick, all this time. When the podcast comes out. We
pre-record the podcast, exactly. And so I believe it's actually this week.
Yeah, it should be this week, Modern Warfare comes out.
By the time you guys see this.
2 weeks before the podcast launched, this statement was made by the art director for Infinity Ward, the developer of Call of Duty. He said, and he started with, and I quote, sigh, like a U2 apology. And first of all, frick him for starting like that.
Was it like a blog? Was it an article?
It was like.
Did he do asterisks?
He made a Reddit post and he just said sigh period.
So it was okay. I'm guessing he's upset with the community.
Yeah, he said there continues to be misinformed and incorrect info being pushed about Modern Warfare. What I can say right now is that we are definitely not working on any kind of supply drop or loot box system. Also, functional stuff is unlocked through gameplay in all caps. Stay tuned. We're planning to release info this week. This week. Now being this week when we're recording the podcast.
You just need to say next up they didn't release. After that statement, they have now released a new update for all of us.
Fair play. Yeah. So now we know exactly what they're doing. They're saying like,
we know almost exactly.
Well, we know what they're saying they're doing. We don't know what they're actually doing.
We know the wording of it. We don't know how it's going to actually interact.
Yeah. And we'll get into why the wording is aggressively problematic. But anyway, they said we are introducing a new battle pass system, not a loot box system. All functional content that has an impact on game balance, such as base weapons and attachments, can be unlocked simply by playing the game. There will be both a free stream and a premium stream of content in the battle pass system in Modern Warfare. New base weapons will be earned through gameplay simply by playing Modern Warfare. Functional attachments for base weapons can be unlocked through gameplay, as well as just like as in the beta. The battle pass in the in-game store will feature a variety of cosmetic content that does not impact game balance. Now, all of that sounds great on paper until you look literally like a surface layer deep and you realize this entire update was this must have been screened by 50 different lawyers. Because all the wording...
The wording?
All the wording leaves so much space for them to say, hey, yeah, we said there wouldn't be base weapons with problematic stuff, but I mean, we can have weapon variants. Or hey, they call out loot boxes, but they leave plenty of room for them to just add them next year, exactly like they did with Black Ops 4.
I know for sure my two concerns before you continue yours as well was they did say all functional weapon attachments will be earned through gameplay, but the wording to me, and again, I obviously could be wrong here, but it made it sound like some possible attachments could actually, and with the Battle Pass, you can always buy additional, you can buy further in the Battle Pass, and so yes, you can earn it through gameplay, you can earn those attachments, I believe, faster by buying, and so that still bothers me.
No, yeah, aggressively.
And actually, I would almost say it bothers me more so because when it comes to, I mean, I guess it would be the same way with loot box supply drops. I was hoping they would leave all attachments that you can unlock through gameplay out of loot boxes, supply drops, or the battle pass because it still leaves a semi-pay-to-win feature. People can buy the entire battle pass, or they can start it, I imagine, for free, hopefully, and they can just get ahead of the game with basic attachments. That's what it sounds like to me.
Yeah, I mean, to me as well. I agree. And
could be wrong.
And everything they're saying as well points to the battle pass being seasonal. So if there's a weapon in the battle pass, does that mean you can't get it after that season? So you have to play the battle pass during that season?
Again, there's just so many open-ended questions that they have not answered yet. We won't know until release.
Yeah.
And then very lastly, what worried me was the fact that the battle pass I think was like $60 for a game that's already. I think it was $60 or it was.
I don't think. Did they say how much the battle pass was?
Someone on Twitter was all spreading these numbers around, so I'm going to take it for what it was.
If the battle pass is $60 on release, I am going to burn stuff.
Or maybe they just said a paid battle pass already for a $60 game.
Oh, you might be thinking about that slasher tweet.
So you can start the battle pass for free, or you can pay for. So yeah, that makes more sense. Free battle pass is great, but the way they've implemented it, I don't think it's only cosmetics, and that right there, it's come on.
Yeah, like the fact that they're saying the battle pass in-game store will feature a variety of cosmetic content doesn't mean that it can't also have non-cosmetic content. If it's just saying, hey, it's going to have cosmetic content, that doesn't mean it won't have other stuff.
Yeah.
It's all and I do appreciate how the developers, not the publishers, Activision, but the developers over in Infinity Ward seem very dedicated to making this a good game for consumers. And they seem to want people to have a lot of fun with it. But at the end of the day, it would have been super, super easy for them to say, we're not putting loot boxes in this game. But they very specifically have refused to say that. They've been asked to say that several times
and
directly.
It's super weird because if you guys remember back to as well the leaked screenshots, we clearly did see supply drop and loot boxes. So did they go back and just take them out entirely? I think people find that very hard to believe.
No, yeah. I remember we saw tweets from the guy who leaks all this stuff, the gaming rev, I believe, who said that after that initial screenshot was found with the supply drops, there was a huge meeting over at the company about, hey, maybe we should get these out of the game. And actually just yesterday, this was in a deleted tweet from Charlie Intel. Activision president Rob Koshich, I believe it's pronounced, he apparently referred to the company as Microtransactivision in a recent meeting.
That's good.
Because of the reputation the company has at the moment, and said that he wants to change that. But I mean, if they really wanted to change it...
Hey, they want to change it, but yeah...
but then they wouldn't have a battle pass in the game. Because, okay, Jake, why are battle passes in video games right
so now? The developer can make money.
Right? And
sell cosmetics and sell possible other drops.
And that makes sense for a free-to-play game, sure. But Call of Duty is $60 on release. And let me throw some other numbers at you. I could not find the development cost for Black Ops 4. I'm pretty sure they don't want it out there because it would just
very low.
It would invalidate everything.
You imagine before you do that, they do it every year, so obviously development costs have to be low enough where they have seen we all know they're making a lot of money.
Yeah. So the most I looked at the list of the most expensive games ever developed. Very high.
Destiny.
It's up there for sure. I think Destiny, the first one, was at $150 million.
Woo!
Yeah. But Modern Warfare 2 is at the top of almost every list with $50 million in development costs and $200 million in marketing.
Oh my gosh. Right? Well, it paid off.
Well, yeah. But let's
$200 million in marketing?
Yeah, marketing is expensive. Yeah.
Dang.
But anyway, let's just say we extrapolate those numbers out, and let's say, just as last year's release, Black Ops 4 cost $100 million. Let's just ballpark that, right? Black Ops 4 made $500 million in the first 3 days, just from pure game copy sales, not microtransactions, nothing like that, right? And so, if a game,
holy crap,
let's assume it costs $100 million to develop, and that same, let's throw another $100 million in there on top of the marketing costs, and let's say it costs $300 million to market, right?
I think that's pretty generous. Pretty decent.
We're being generous with the cost.
We're being fair, I would say.
Yeah. So that's like $400 million to put the game out, and it made $500 in the first 3 days. So they're making $100 million profit under those numbers, and so you're telling me that a game like that makes these numbers every single year still needs to charge people to support the game for a year?
I think it's very clear that no one needs a battle pass. Fortnite does not need a battle pass. Their item shop alone probably, I mean, we saw the numbers in the billions over the last year. Right. Obviously, that includes the battle pass in it, but the item shop was a large portion of that. No game needs... I mean, you've been very on this same level for quite some time. No game needs a battle pass, but I think it does offer a great thing for both sides.
I don't know that it does, because I mean, take
Zan, you can play for things
on the developer side. Pardon me. On the developer publisher side, it offers them extra money, right?
Yes.
But on the consumer side, let's say if we were just like, hey, just do the battle pass without any money being involved, right? I think that would kind of be if the developer was
that is the more fair thing.
If they were presenting the battle pass and the whole point was, hey, this is for the players, then it would just be free.
I mean,
it could be free.
I know you're totally right here, and I think actually one of the few games out there that does battle pass correctly. And I think, I don't know in terms of payment as well, but I think Fortnite actually does it very well because there is no functionality. There are no weapons you can unlock with it. It's strictly cosmetic and XP based, and no one is ever like, oh, frick, your Fortnite character is level 90, I'm only level 36, and they're like, yeah, I bought the battle pass. No one's upset by that. So Fortnite is sheerly cosmetic for their battle pass.
And it's free.
You can also, by the way, obviously you can buy it, but they make it so easy to earn V-Bucks in that game. It is free.
Yeah.
You buy one battle pass in Fortnite, you can have battle passes for as long as you want. I think so.
No, without playing that much. It's by my understanding.
A decent amount, but still, the way they offer it to be allowed is pretty impeccable, and that obviously speaks to the fact that Epic Games, they realize they've made enough money doing this model, and so you wish the other developers out there would follow maybe the same. Maybe this obviously Activision maybe feels they can't take that same risk and make more money. But if they don't maybe realize that Fortnite has done that and they have made an extreme amount of money by only attuning to the players once.
Yeah, I mean...
They realize that if you do it correctly, you can make just as much, if not more money.
Probably more.
So it comes down if you can really, if as a developer you want to take that risk, or up front you see, okay, we can make a lot of money doing this and actually making so players can buy things to get ahead. I don't know. It comes down to as a developer what risks you want to take.
Yeah, of course.
And I think obviously... We'll see if they get backlash for it. I think they will, but
I don't know.
Is it enough?
I don't think they will, because everybody at this point, all the news outlets reporting on it, have all just been saying blanket, taking everything they're saying at face value and saying, "Hey, everybody celebrate! No loot boxes. Everybody celebrate! Everything's fixed. The game is better now." And
we'll see if they lied.
Yeah, I mean, you could. The funny thing is, you could just put loot boxes in the battle pass. They could just do that. And technically, they wouldn't be loot.
I just think it's so weird that they're. I don't know.
It'd be.
So are supply drops and loot boxes going to be out entirely? Like they're not even going to be in the game at all?
They haven't said that.
Because
they very specifically have not said that.
Because I, for one, I was hoping if they were going to remove loot boxes and supply drops, just remove maybe the option to buy them. But even then, as long as they're cosmetic, there's so many off lanes about this because if they're only cosmetic, I don't mind if people can buy them. I don't care at all.
Right.
Just the fact that there could be functional attachments in the battle pass you can buy ahead to get ahead of me because you paid, that makes me angry. But when it comes to the actual loot boxes and supply drops, I love earning those in game. Like it makes playing games worth it. But I guess this way you're earning XP towards your battle pass, so it's probably the same way. Would you care if there's loot boxes and supply drops in the battle pass? I wouldn't. Depends how they do it.
I kind of would in a certain way, in a sense that like let's say there are loot boxes in the free strain of the battle pass, right? And it's just like, hey, you get just by playing the game, you just get a box that gives you a random thing, right? If it was something along the lines of, hey, you just get a thing for leveling up and playing the game. Sure, that's cool, but I would much rather have it just be more like an MW2 system where it's just in a menu and you unlock stuff based on your performance.
Yeah, but those are the glory days, man. Like, we're never going back. I don't think we'll ever... I think it'll be a long... I don't know. I think those kind of games where developers are not seeing the opportunities to cash in are long gone. We have not seen a game like that in a long time.
We have. It's not coming from Activision.
You're telling me?
Coming from Activision.
You can only earn cosmetic upgrades by leveling, and the developer makes nothing, and you pay nothing as a consumer? That's not going to happen anymore.
I paid the price of the video game. That's what I pay.
I'm just saying, I don't think that's going to happen ever again.
I'll be very surprised if it does, but I just think it's not something that we should. I think we should continually keep saying, like, hey, this is the way. That'd be great if it was this.
I mean, people need to keep on speaking up just so things are finally tuned. But I think we've reached the time in gaming where battle passes and every microtransaction that's possible or at the time, people can deal with, developers will try it.
Oh, definitely. They'll try it. But I think we're going to hit a point in like a decade where...
Someone will do it right, and we'll see if they
just wait until legalization hits the video game industry and everything just lights on fire.
Yeah.
It'll be... And it's gonna be microtransactivision that causes it.
Is that all you got for the piss you
off?
Because
I don't want to get into much more. Because I'll get more mad about it.
I think you might be a bit too hard on them. But
I don't know. After they've very specifically shown that they are willing to lie, they will lie. They have done it in the past. They'll say.
But we don't know if they're lying or not, Zan.
But we know
Get mad after the fact,
last
not before
3
the fact.
times this has been a thing. They've said no microtransactions in this game, then they put them in later.
I'm just saying.
So
let's wait this one out.
Why? We have no reason to.
Yes, we do.
No, we don't.
You can't just get mad. They haven't done anything yet.
But
they're trying.
Every other time they have, it's been literally like
give them a 4th chance, man.
I gave them the benefit of the doubt like so many times.
You know what? We'll see.
They don't deserve it anymore.
When you're wrong, I'll take it here.
That's the thing though. I don't know that I can be wrong until literally like a year from now because they could just put it in because they always wait.
Well then you'll be wrong for a year.
I'll be wrong in a year, and I'm cool with that. If they prove me wrong and it's all great, then cool, great. I'll be super happy.
All right, let's just wait it out. We'll see how this Call of Duty Battle Pass goes. All right, Zan, we talk about it almost every week now, so I thought I might as well continue this one.
Why not?
Tencent, the kings of gaming, they're back.
So when are we starting our side podcast, Tencent
Seriously, dude, we could legit have a side podcast just called Tencent.
Tencent Talk.
Tencent Talk?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that's actually not a bad idea.
Yeah.
I feel like there's a lot of Tencent diehards out there that would just watch. That's not a bad idea, man.
Yeah, I mean... Maybe that's what we do on the weekends. We just come into the office on Sunday.
That's actually, Tencent Talk coming soon.
Yeah, let us know if you want to hear some Tencent Talk.
Because we love obviously talking about them. First, I just kind of want to break it down, get your thoughts on this. Should be very quick though. I had a video on this week all about Tencent and what they might be doing in terms of forcing hands. We've talked a lot about their ties to the Chinese government. They obviously scare both of us to death.
Terrifying.
But we love them. Like we actually do love what they do. A lot of the things they do is great. Now we look around the controversy though. We now have 3 gigantic companies making the choice around these Hong Kong protests. And I'm going to ask you one question at the end of explaining this. And that question will be, do you think there was an underlying reason besides besides the conflict of interest and the fact that it shouldn't be done on gaming broadcasts, that these companies made the choice they made. So, excuse me.
Bless you.
I'm never the one to cough. Usually it's you. So first of all, we talk about Blizzard. You know the situation. They banned one pro player for 6 months. They banned 3 college players also for 6 months. They came out and pretty much said, hey, by the way, everyone, from now on, we're not doing this. We focus on the game. We focus on the broadcast. If you want political speech, you do not do it on our broadcast. If so, you will be punished. We look to our next example. Riot has now responded. They pretty much have warned their players and their casters. Riot, League of Legends, Worlds going on right now. There was a team called Hong Kong Attitude. People thought they were censoring them. I don't think they were. Even more so, though, Riot was now warning their casters. They have now fully said, hey, same thing as Blizzard, same thing as anyone else out there. Political speech is not for these broadcasts. It's not the right atmosphere. Please don't do it. Avoid it. Very lastly, we bring in ESL. Huge company out there. And they, too, have now warned all of their employees. All 700 employees have now been told, political speech, avoid it on broadcast, avoid it on social media. It's just not the right place for it. And we also found out later, ESL, by the way, we'll talk about connections, I guess, after I ask you the question. That is 3 gigantic companies, Blizzard, alongside them Riot, and, of course, ESL, have now all said political speech, especially around the Hong Kong, China thing, do not talk about it. So do you think there's an underlying tie as to why these companies actually came out and said this, besides the fact that Blizzard has seen all this backlash?
Absolutely. I mean, if you look to a couple days before the Blizzard backlash initially happened, there was an NBA issue, which I normally don't pay attention to basketball.
Me either.
And
that was involving LeBron now too, right?
Yeah, or wait.
It was like Dan Morey, and then LeBron got involved now too.
Yeah.
I didn't follow the entire situation.
See, I don't even know that it was LeBron. I feel like it was somebody else, but I wouldn't know who. I'd be like, was it Michael Jordan? That's like, was this a Space Jam scene?
But that was like the kind of initial spark.
Yeah, like, and what you saw with the NBA was as soon as there was a guy who spoke out in support of the Hong Kong protests, the NBA.
Oh, that was not LeBron then. That was not LeBron.
No,
sorry.
yeah, the guy
he supported China.
The guy that made the initial tweet. NBA broadcasts were immediately cut from China, and that's a lot of money lost.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So I imagine even without Tencent or China saying anything, Blizzard, Riot, ESL, they don't want that to happen. So they're just doing everything they can to preemptively say, hey, China, we're willing to play ball. Don't
like,
please stream our guys. Please show our games. We like you, please.
I thought it was pretty obvious too, but I think there's a lot of reasons why they would say that. And again, I'm not saying that they're wrong in doing so. It's great to warn yourselves so you actually protect your business.
Right.
But it was kind of funny after the fact. Not only the fact we saw so many of these Chinese instances outside the NBA and gaming. There's been a long list on Reddit passed around as well. You know that obviously Tencent has 5% in Blizzard. Blizzard distribution in China is they require Tencent for a large portion of their business.
Right.
Maybe that's why they made that call in support of China and kind of against the Hong Kong protests. We look at Riot. They're 100% owned by Tencent, follow the same lines. And then very lastly, ESL is tied to Huya, gigantic Chinese streaming platform, also, by the way, invested in by Tencent. So stringently, we have ESL also being tied to Tencent, therefore maybe in support of China because that's a huge partnership for them. And so I just think it's very weird how political esports has all of a sudden gotten, and it's probably been like this for quite some time.
Yeah,
but now it's finally public, like, whoa.
I find it very interesting that all these companies, like if they actually cared about not having their games or their tournaments be a platform for any kind of free speech in a sense, this would have been clarified forever ago. This would have been like as part of like, hey, pre-tournament, just quick briefing. Hey, yeah, you know what? Everybody keep any talk on focused on the tournament, focused on the game.
And that might be because we've never seen a situation like this before, though, too. Like we've never seen a gigantic outcry like this. Not necessarily outcry, but semi-protest. We've never seen this much of a statement made. So it's fair to say that they maybe didn't see this coming.
I mean, which case they're like, are you guys idiots?
I mean, I get, yeah.
Can you billion-dollar companies think for 5 seconds?
I do in some cases feel for Blizzard, like they were the fall guy. Like this could have happened.
It was all their fault though. They shot themselves in the foot like 5 times.
But this could have happened to anyone first. But yes, we talked about it. They banned hard, and that's why it got so much backlash and traction. But this could have happened to anyone first. It just kind of fell on Blizzard. So just want to get your statements really quick. Obviously, there are underlying ties to why these companies do make choices that they do make, and now it's very public that China, Tencent, has a lot of power in this gaming scene.
You know, on that same note, real quick, I just wanted to shout out the NBA because I actually just read like literally last night that after that guy made that tweet and the NBA made their statement about like supporting free speech, but like at the same time like not trying to offend China. I forget. I'm not a sports guy. Preface. I don't know these guys' positions, but the boss, the guy, the head of the NBA, was he straight up said,
the chairman.
Yeah, I don't know. Don't.
Sorry, I don't know. I don't know sports either.
Yeah,
so
I don't know if
I should
president?
shut up.
See, I don't know.
One of the big guys.
Yeah, the big guys, big dog, woof. Anyway, he said, yeah, China literally asked us to fire the dude, and we were like, no. We're not even gonna punish him.
Oh,
what are you talking about? They're like, yeah, go away.
Dang.
Yeah, I was.
Luckily for the NBA, Chinese viewership is probably not that big.
Apparently, it's pretty big.
Is it?
Oh yeah, apparently.
But
they were just like,
mind.
I mean, if you guys want to make that call, you guys can make that call.
Dang.
But like, I wish gaming companies could do that. Yeah, tell China to go.
But they literally can't.
No, but they could.
That'll be the day.
The NBA is losing money. The game companies could take the hit. The game companies just greedy like that.
We'll see. Activision could take the hit. They just
launch
their battle pass. Maybe.
Yeah, microtransact Activision, yo.
Yo, if we don't got China, then we're getting like 4 battle passes a season here. You guys better keep on buying.
Yeah. Let's jump into like a light one. Like take it easy.
Finally, we both kind of got off today.
Yeah. So anyway, the Entertainment Software Association, they're essentially they call themselves the voice of the video games industry. They're the closest thing we have to a regulatory group, and they're garbage, and I hate them. But anyway,
dude, you said light topic. Jeez,
it is light. Yeah, but I can't talk about them without first prefacing. Yeah, they're trash. Anyway,
now that we got that out of the way.
Yeah, they are the group. So they put out a kind of like a yearly report of video game statistics, just a broad overview of hey, what's the game industry up to? Mm-hmm. So I just want to read some numbers out to you, see what you think, So apparently, 75% of Americans in 2019 have at least one gamer in the household.
Let's go!
Yeah, we're making moves.
Taking over, baby.
Getting up there. And 65% of American adults consider themselves gamers.
65%? What's adult? 18 plus? 21 plus?
18 plus, I think. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Dang.
Yeah, I mean, I thought it was
you got to figure, 75 years old plus is probably not playing, so we pretty much got the market.
Apparently they are, because I mean in the graphic.
Yeah, right. Tetris does not count. Or whatever,
well, I mean,
checkers, virtual checkers.
I mean, realistically speaking, they did do a breakdown of all the older people who play games, and it boiled down to like the favorites were like card games, casino games, and like puzzle games. Which hey, they're still games.
Yeah, for sure.
They're still playing games.
You're still,
I respect that.
If anyone out there watching or listening is 75 plus, we love you.
Hey, shout out.
My grandma's like 82, and I like her a lot. So I'm not trying to diss on older gamers. I'm just saying it's not like. Never mind. Moving on. I don't want to piss off the older crowd.
Yo, we should get our grandmothers in here. Get them to play like.
She's in Nebraska. I don't know if she can make the travel.
That's a little bit of a trip. Never mind. My grandmother's 10 minutes that way.
Get her in the wagon.
Driver. Anyway, so apparently gamers are more likely to have a creative hobby aside from gaming. Like, yeah. Yeah, I just wanted to throw that. I thought like maybe I have the statistic.
Could you not think of a single creative hobby? Like, yeah.
No, I was like, did I write a statistic down for that? I was like, no, I didn't, because it doesn't really matter at the end of the day.
So a lot of gamers have other hobbies.
Yeah. Honestly, no, but cretive ones.
Sick fact, dude.
Yeah. We creative individuals. We know how to draw. I can't draw to save my life, but gamers do. Aside from me,
that's just such a random fact.
Anyway, let's jump down. Touch on this lightly because it is sensitive, but apparently 46% of gamers are female, 54% male. In the favorite game genre.
Not gonna say anything, man. I'm not
for
gonna
millennials,
say a thing.
if you notice, I transitioned into the next one very quickly. Millennial gamers, and millennial they're defining as ages 18 to 34. Apparently, this is the game genres that are the favorites currently. Number one for males and females both is racing games.
What?
Yeah, right. 61% of males, 49% of females.
Super Mario Kart or something?
I would assume Mario Kart counts.
Huh.
Yeah, but I mean, I would never think.
That's
you never
very
hear about people playing
I thought it would
games.
have been like FPS.
Yeah. And then from racing for men, it goes from racing to sports games, then to FPS. And for females, it goes from racing to puzzle games to party games. It's like really interesting to actually.
Party games.
Yeah.
What?
I don't know what constitutes a party game. I can't think of a party game aside from Mario Party. Like
they mean party game as in like games you play with other people, or party
yeah,
games
but I mean,
as in
technically
like
that could be
Sims
like
4 when you throw a party at the house?
See, I would assume it means games you can play with other people, but they didn't really add a qualifier to it.
I'm just saying, Zan,
Yeah.
less than 2% of our viewers are women. Just gonna throw that one out
Yeah.
there. So they might be playing games, but they're not watching. So if you guys want to tell your friends, feel free to. Hello.
Yeah.
Welcoming to all people out there. Just throwing it out there.
Anyway, so this is the one that I found really interesting. They did a breakdown of how people actually decide which games they're going to buy. So 39% of people watch YouTube videos to determine what games they're going to buy.
Dang.
Yeah. 30% watch, take a look at user reviews like Steam reviews or whatever. 29% take a look at professional reviews from like gaming outlets and stuff. Like, yeah. And only 20% cares about streaming. And that factors into their
It's very
purchasing
interesting. That's a
decision.
very wide, diverse breakdown of
Yeah.
sources that I probably all used. I don't
Yeah,
use
yeah.
them all for one game, but I'll typically use one for one game. So
Yeah.
that's interesting.
Yeah, I find it fascinating that streaming is actually at the bottom of the rack. Because, I mean, just like this year, we saw Apex Legends put all that money into having streamers specifically play the game.
But I guess if you want an oversimplified, very short guide or review of the game, instead of having to watch a 3-hour stream, you watch a 3-minute video.
Right.
Kind of get the general gist.
Which makes a lot more sense.
It's
in my
more
mind,
convenient,
yeah,
but either
yeah.
way, 20%. I mean, still compared to what was it, almost 40%? It's still pretty decent numbers.
Almost 40%. Yeah, 39. Yeah, I mean it's still good. It's probably, I mean, if we say 20%, that's probably like literally like hundreds of millions of people still. So it's totally fine. Aside from that, 49% of gamers have paid for a microtransaction in the last year.
Woo! That makes sense.
Yeah, I mean
They're getting more and more addictive or just easy to do.
Yeah.
They trick you.
Mm-hmm.
Is that all the what's the association called?
The Entertainment Software Association. Yes.
Huh. Oh wait, this is the ESA.
Yeah, the ESA.
I've only heard of them ever once. I think they actually step in sometimes on competitive rulings, maybe.
They try to step in, and then everybody ignores them because they're
their bans don't really mean.
Yeah, because the
I
ESA
haven't
is
seen them very
trash, and they don't do
Is
anything.
this what they do every year? They just we got a few stats. That's about it.
They also run E3.
Okay.
And
that did well.
Hell yeah, I know, right? Shout out
should
to
be
the almost 10,000 people who got all their data leaked.
Not trying to hate on ESA, but
I am. They need to go away. We need a new group.
But
Yeah,
we do
finally.
appreciate the stats.
Yeah, I mean, you can get these stats from anywhere.
It's just impossible to make you happy sometimes, man.
It really is. It's rough. But it's so easy sometimes. Like, I think I started this podcast saying I was really mad about the Modern Warfare thing. All it took was like watching like a 10-second Dragon Ball clip. And I was like, that was a really good combo. Now I'm happy. That was fun.
God, dude, that was so what?
Yeah. Anyway, last statistic I wanted to throw out there. Apparently, and I found this interesting just because you always hear the statement that parents need to pay more attention to what their kids are doing in video games. Parents need to monitor their kids more. Apparently 90% of parents pay attention to the games their kid plays.
Apparently. Now you got it.
All right.
I'm here.
This is a great podcast.
I'm
I gotta
here
go.
for you. 90%?
90%.
That's a bunch of bogus.
And 87% are aware of ESRB ratings.
No.
77% regularly use
This is a
ESRB
bunch
ratings.
of bogus, dude. Yeah, right.
And 98% are apparently confident that the ratings are accurate.
What kind of... Okay, first of all, 98% of you think the age ratings are correct. Idiots, dumb.
Well, I mean, to be fair, they couldn't know unless they play the games themselves.
Exactly. So how is this logistical at all? What do? They email 50 parents, and what parent is going to go, no, I have no idea what my kid plays. They're going to pretend, they're going to lie, and they're going to say, oh, I've seen Ninja's Twitter, so I know all about Fortnite. No way. You don't know all the... They probably know Fortnite, and they're like, oh, my kid's only playing Fortnite.
In large part, I do think that a lot of these statistics are just ways for the ESA to say, hey, guys, we're doing a great job. Look at how successful our ESRB ratings are.
Yeah,
Look at how good they are.
Nah.
But, like, I do find it interesting that, like, so let's knock off, let's say 30% of that 90% that they say are actually paying attention to what their kids play. I'd say that's reasonable. That's fair for what's probably accurate. That's still probably a little higher than I thought it would have been.
Yeah, it's still very good.
Yeah.
So thank you, ESA. Zan doesn't like you, but the stats are nice. If they're actually true, though, it's a giant, totally other story. All right, I'm actually going to make this story quick, unlike Zan, who just lies about it when he says, I got a quick topic today.
Oh, yeah, Mr. Like, this will be short.
Watch this.
About it.
Look back and see who has the short topics today. It's going to be me. You know why? Because I'm just going to say this very fast. Riot Games potentially has had some perfect timing with their release. Although you and me looked at some of these games and we're like, I don't know about that.
Yeah.
But let's hype it up before we tear it down really quickly here.
All right. Yeah.
So
Riot. Great.
Thank you. The timing of this, Riot Games announces all of these new games, these new projects for 2019 or 2020 and beyond. They pretty much hit every market out there possible. Mobile, like card games, obviously their typical MOBAs, FPS, so on and so forth. You guys have probably heard the gist of this. Their perfect timing, though, being around the release of Fortnite Chapter 2, which I don't think is going terribly well. Also announced around the time of Blizzard's downfall.
Right.
So I think it's all great timing for them.
Perfect coincidence.
Especially, and kind of funny because they planned this for 10 years. It was not planned around all these different announcements.
It's like
it just after 10 years it landed on that day. Wow.
It's like somebody threw a basketball across a court and then somebody else accidentally dunked it. Like
that was the weirdest comparison, I think. Wait.
I don't know how basketball works. I tried.
You're just trying to reference sports today as if you. It's like throwing a football and like dude doesn't catch it, but like someone else maybe does. I mean,
it's like doing an interception. Is that how you say it?
We don't know NBA. We don't know. People are just like.
I did an interception.
God, anyway, so besides the perfect timing, we had this announcement. It's just kind of crazy to see all the markets they're hitting.
Yeah.
An animated series, which I am super excited about.
The animated series is the only thing I'm kind of interested in because that's the only thing that looks like.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
It's the only thing that I saw and I was like, whoa, that looks like really good.
That looks like they actually spent time on it.
That looks like it's actually up to date.
Yeah.
With its graphics and such. So I think that's going to be really cool, especially when you look at other franchises like WoW. They do their animated series very well. I think Riot does too. So Runeterra, that's their card game.
Right.
Let's, again, before we downplay this really quick, a fighting game, Wild Rift is the TFT going mobile, Project A FPS, and a possible MMO. They've hit everything, and so let's just keep it to two. So you talk about one, I talk about one that maybe is not looking that hot.
Okay, I'll take the fighting game. You can take the one that's like CSGO.
Okay, perfect. So they announced some great games, a great list of games, but we have looked at them and said, are they going to keep up to date or up to par with the current stuff out? So fighting game, what was...
I saw nothing that was vaguely interesting, aside from the fact that they look like League of Legends characters. Everything else looks very, very derivative from the little we've seen. And that's the weird part. We've seen very little footage, and it all looks super derivative of other video games. It just they even at one point showed that's just the training room from Street Fighter 4. What? That you don't have anything new? We've known they've been working on the fighting game for literally years, and they couldn't even show us 30 seconds of some gameplay. What? They don't have that much done yet.
And for a lot of these games that are set for release, they are obviously early views at them, but they're set for 2020, and they didn't really show us too much. So to bounce off that for the FPS called Project A, I would totally agree. In terms of what it offers compared to current games out there, graphics-wise, obviously, yes, pre-release, it didn't look like anything like Overwatch or CSGO in terms of graphics. The animations themselves, the gameplay themselves looked very, I would say, is fundamentary a word or fundamental? It looked very basic, I would say.
Yeah, it looks like a game I would have expected to see in 2015.
Yeah, and it would have maybe done. It looked like almost to me even farther back to original Counter-Strike, or the weapons seemed like almost Halo-esque, and obviously the actions kind of were Overwatch-esque as well, but they didn't look very good. The map itself, they have some great map designers, so hopefully obviously going to develop some great maps.
Right.
The gameplay though was nothing special. It was nothing, they didn't show us anything that was whoa, that's possible. And so just like you and a lot of these releases so far, they're great announcements, but they have to pull them off and actually compete with already people competing in that industry in that game mode. They can diversify as much as they want, but I don't know if any of these are heavy hitters right now, besides Runeterra might do well if they can get that niche for free for being cheaper than other card games. I think their mobile game for Wild Rift will do maybe well.
That's the weird thing though. I don't know that they even are cheaper than other card games. And with
that's what they're preaching. So
that's what they're preaching. But I don't think that they're saying like, hey, look at our card game, no loot boxes, right? But every other card game, sure, there are loot boxes, but they're like so easy to earn. You can get like every card in Magic the Gathering Arena like super easy.
See, that's not what other people are preaching though. Other people say that when it comes to like games like Hearthstone, you have to invest a hefty amount.
Hearthstone is trash. Like,
so that's what maybe they're trying to compete with. Obviously, that was a big conflict though. Magic the Gathering is doing so well.
Right.
They're entering that market. They're only going to take a small portion of that, you would assume. So maybe they're just trying to divest themselves into mobile, into the Chinese Asian scene, into the FPS. They're just trying to diversify the profile. If that's the case, yes. Will these all take off? Obviously not all of them.
League of Legends
maybe
will.
one.
League
of Legends will always do well.
Now that it's finally on console, finally on mobile, after like this should have happened like 5 years ago, but I mean,
feel like they are taking
at least it's finally happening now.
Yeah, I feel like they're taking a gigantic viewer base, player base they have, just kind of spitting in different directions and hoping something sticks. And I'm sure something will. Question is just how much will stick, and we'll see how it comes along 2020.
All right, last official topic of the podcast. Let's talk about Rick Fox's new TV show.
Oh,
because that's like, I am so excited for this.
No.
This will be like, in case you guys haven't seen Jake's video, apparently Rick Fox has got a new comedy series coming through CBS that is going to be exploring his life and the founding of Echo Fox and reconnecting with his son and everything as like.
That's if it happens, okay? Huge preface needs to be made.
To be fair, the pilot is happening. We're going to get at least one episode.
No, that's not even guaranteed.
No,
CBS
really?
could take the penalties if they want to pay those fees. They don't have to air the pilot episode.
Okay, so they can just record it,
which I imagine,
and not actually air it.
Which I imagine might be the case here. But if it does happen and we see one episode, I think
if the episode gets made, it's gonna leak at some point, regardless. So
probably.
I think we'll see it. I am super excited because I think for all of you out there, the Echo Fox story is one of those that we've been following in the office for a long time now.
6 months probably.
Yeah, and it's one of those that hasn't got a lot of traction in the community, but I feel like that's just because it's so dense and there's so much happening.
Yeah, that people just don't want to keep up with it.
And so there's so much legal nonsense, but at the same time, all the personalities involved are super fascinating.
All the storylines involved.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. Just to give a brief recap, like if you break down the Echo Fox situation to its base core, right? Rick Fox, his son is like, I love esports. I want to be involved in esports. So he starts an esports org. That's dope on its own. And then Echo Fox gets literally all the top fighting game players under one organization. Literally all the best players in the world, right? And then that's like amazing. And then we arrive at like this point now where Fox says he's going to leave because of some really bad, really kind of problematic stuff along the lines of, hey, person with Jewish heritage, maybe.
A lot of stuff was said apparently.
And
now it's just kind of bouncing back and forth allegations ever since then. Echo Fox has lost their League of Legends spot. They've also, obviously, what we see the future of the organization is not going to be anything. And we couldn't even be
gone in like a year.
We couldn't even begin to talk about all the allegations out there in one single sit down. So it's just crazy to see that it could be a possible sitcom airing live on TV or airing for some series on TV if that's the case. I don't think it's going to happen, but just the fact that it's an option.
I could see it.
And any organization out there, that esports organization that could land a TV series is obviously a pretty big deal.
Yeah, definitely.
It just so happens it's Echo Fox. If it's this couldn't be scripted any worse.
I would rather it be Echo Fox than anybody else.
I'd rather it be anyone else but Echo Fox at this point in time. This is a terrible look. And so we'll see if it even happens. I don't think it will, but if it does, you better believe we're going to be talking about it.
Oh, you know what? We should watch it.
Obviously.
We'll do a video of our reactions.
Obviously, if it happens, we will have to.
Yeah.
And we'll see if it does come to fruition. I hope to God it doesn't. All right, guys, in closing, what's up? We're leaving the...
Jake is tired. Jake is exhausted. Jake is burnt.
This is a long podcast. We got quick announcements, okay? Let's spew them out.
Very, very quick. I'll try to do a rapid fire so Jake can go take a nap.
Thank you,
okay, so as always, if you want to listen to us on the go, on your phone, on your favorite podcast app of choice or your favorite music platform, most likely, you can always find us on the Prediction Esports Talk Show Network. Just type in Prediction, Preediction, Prediction with 2 E's. And hey, you'll find the latest episodes of our podcast every Monday night. Sometimes the time is a little variable depending on when it gets posted to the podcast feed, but find us there. For those of you listening to the audio version of the podcast, we appreciate you. If you want to check out our YouTube channel, we're at Esports Talk on YouTube. And hey, kind of big announcement. we're building out our Instagram account now.
Are we?
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
I'm actively dedicating time to that.
I did not know that.
Yeah. I had a conversation with Maj earlier this week, and he talked to management, and we're like, hey, Facebook isn't really doing much for us, so we're pivoting Instagram. So hey, follow us on Instagram. We're at Esports, or I think it's talk_esports or
You don't
Esports
even know, huh?
talk.
Way to push your Instagram.
Yeah, just honestly, just look us up.
Just look up Esports
Esports
something.
Talk. We're Esports Talk. So just find us there. Jake, anything you want to say to the people before we
Very
head out?
lastly, we are also pre-recorded podcast later this week. So this will go live, I believe, on Tuesday. Later this week, guys, Friday, we leave for Mexico. We have a little group trip going down there. A little vacation, I would say, for the group. So we'll be gone for just till the following Wednesday. We do have pre-recorded episodes, though, guys. But if you guys are wondering where we are, we will be back the following Thursday, I do believe. We'll only be gone for a few days. We are going to be going to Mexico to have some time off, enjoy some team bonding. And once we are back, we'll resume live news. But we do have plenty of episodes for you guys whilst we are gone. So enjoy while we're gone. Once we're back, videos are going to come out crunching hard.
All the more reason to follow the Instagram, because I'm going to be posting stuff from the trip.
So follow the Instagram if you guys want to follow it. That's a good idea. Dang.
See, find some pictures of Jake at the beach.
Y'all want to see me? I don't want to.
I'm actively trying to get a swimsuit calendar made.
So if you guys
I think that'd be hilarious.
Jake swimsuit pics, they'll be coming soon to the Instagram. All right, let's get this one out of here, Zan.
All right.
Hope you guys all enjoyed Esports Rewind Podcast, episode number 23. We will see you all next time. Until then, take care. Bye-bye.
Hope y'all enjoyed.